President Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama are well into their short visit to France today, and the analysis of both politics and style continues. CBS News correspondent Mark Phillips has the latest.
Finally, after having her every outfit and every gesture compared to her French counterpart while she was in Britain, Michelle Obama arrived in France this morning. And while their husbands continued with the heady affairs of state, the two first ladies were at last face to face, and the subject of inevitable comparison of style and demeanor. One, Carla Bruni, the glamorous ex-model and pop star; the other, Michelle Obama, the striking personification of aspirational American womanhood. The English leg of this trip provided plenty of basis for comparison. When Carla met the Queen, she was proper, formal, some said frosty. With Michelle, it was all hugs and let's stay in touch. That Carla attracts attention wherever she goes is undeniable. Michelle's presence, at least to these London school kids, was inspiring.
We are counting on every single one of you to be the very best that you can be.
For as long as Michelle Obama is in France, Carla Bruni may be French toast. Mark Phillips, CBS News, London.
Tina Brown is co-founder and editor-in-chief of thedailybeast.com and a longtime royal watcher and insider. Good morning, how are you?
Good morning, Harry.
First, let's look at these pictures from this morning, because this is this first sort of connection between the Sarkozys and the Obamas, and that looked pretty warm.
That was a high voltage encounter this morning between these two great ladies of our iconic moment, you know. I think that they're very different, of course, you know. I mean, Carla Bruni is a very elegant, you know, Italian-born heiress, strums the guitar, many lovers, you know, set her hat at
a chanteuse.
A chanteuse, and you know, quite a sort of cool cat in her own right. But Michelle is so authentic and so real and so today and so, you know, J. Crew and the whole price point thing and not designer clothes. This is a kind of wonderful contrast.
An amazing juxtaposition.
Yeah, I think myself that Carla was smart not to go to London, because now she's on her own home territory, French speaking, and she feels a little more in control.
Well, she could not have been able to stand the comparisons.
No, she could not. I think she was smart. She understood that she wouldn't come off as well in that big Michelle moment.
It's interesting, because in the last couple of pieces you wrote in the Daily Beast, you talk about Michelle's authenticity.
Yes.
I mean, there's a kind of just raw realness about her. That session with the schoolgirls yesterday.
And you know, with Michelle,
it's
absolutely right. With Michelle, you can almost feel those warm arms. You know, there's a kind of real red-blooded feel to her. But there's also, I mean, she's almost like overtaking Oprah, I think, as the kind of inspirational it girl at this point. It takes going abroad sometimes to kind of refine your image back home. And she's gone up a whole notch on this trip, because
this whole thing with the touching of the Queen and everything else, in the end, the Queen says, let's please stay in touch. Whatever affront or perceived affront was completely trumped by the fact that those two people charmed the Queen's socks off.
They completely charmed them, and the Queen wouldn't have taken any offence at that. You know, the Queen gets very frosty if she's disrespected. But there was no sense of Michelle disrespecting her. There was a sense of kind of sisterly response, because it was the Queen who first touched Michelle, and Michelle then responded in her extremely warm way. But she's also, I think, getting a kind of almost Princess Di-like empathy going at this point. You know, when she went to that school yesterday and you saw this tall figure bending down to embrace these kids wearing those pearls, it was like, oh my God, it's Di time all over again.
The other thing that you wrote about, and I thought that was so interesting, because people respect her, especially in Britain. She looks like the clothes came out of her own closet. She's not tried to reinvent herself.
Well, that's another reason that the Brits love her. I mean, for a start, she seems very exotic to them as this beautiful, you know, African-American, high achiever, dynamic woman. That's not usual in English public life at all. But secondly, she looks like she did, as you say, pay for her own clothes. The Brits like that, because they're not into showiness and brands and all that. And the fact that Michelle, in this desperate economy, looks like she could afford the stuff she's wearing on her own back.
From J. Crew.
It's very appealing. It's the right thing. She's smart. She got it right.
There you go. Tina Brown, nice to see you. Congratulations on the Beast. For more information, go to our website, earlyshow.cbsnews.com.